Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and I'm looking forward to the hearing on the legislative items as well. I would just like to say a word. Over a span of more than a year, others have joined me in asking questions of judicial nominees. If they become judges, do they believe that their court orders need to be complied with, followed by the parties to a lawsuit? And there was some equivocation at the beginning. Senator Kennedy arrived and was outspoken and following court orders. I think most of us who practice law understand they have to be taken seriously. But then there came a standard answer after that, and some people were incredulous that we would even have to raise the issue. A judge issues an order, the party follows the order, period. But it turns out that's not the case. I commend to my colleagues an article on the front page of, if there is still a front page, of the New York Times this morning. It's entitled, "Surge in Immigration Cases in Minnesota Pushes Prosecutors and Judges to the Brink." It's a situation where a young lady who volunteered to try to help the immigration case docket, Julie Lee, has testified in court as to what she literally is facing when it comes to court orders that are not complied with. And it reached the point where, in her frustration, she said, I guess, too much for the administration, and they fired her this week. I think you ought to read the story. And let me tell you what we're dealing with. The remarks she made in court, according to this article, cost her her job, where she'd been working on a temporary basis to help handle habeas petitions or court filings that compel the government to justify holding someone in custody. But her comments also open the window into a broader problem, how the courts in Minnesota are buckling beneath the weight of a deluge of cases arising from statewide campaign the administration called Operation Metro Surge. All Americans know what happened with the 2 innocent people who were killed in the course of that operation, but this is another aspect. The article goes on to say the turmoil in the courts has demoralized prosecutors, outraged judges, exhausted defense lawyers, and left many immigrants languishing in detention in violation of court orders. And the article goes on to say, when agencies like the Justice Department, the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration, and Customs Enforcement ignore judicial orders to release immigrants under their control, the federal judge in Minnesota, Judge Blackwell, said it's an affront not merely to personal liberty, but to the entire criminal justice system. The judge is certainly outspoken and clear in his position. I'd like to read the statement which was part of the official record.
You were asking that?
I ask consent that it be included.
Without objection, it'll be included.
Mr. Chair.
I'm not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you don't mind. The judge said, if the government undertakes an enforcement operation of this scale, one that results in the detention of large numbers of people, including individuals who are lawfully present in the United States, then the government assumes a corresponding obligation to ensure that each detention complies with the Constitution and with court orders governing release. Volume, the judge said, that is, the volume of cases and matters is not a justification for diluting constitutional rights, and it never can be. It heightens the need for care. I bring this to your attention because I can remember each one of the nominees dutifully saying they would follow court orders. We have a situation now where, by design, the system is overwhelmed and court orders are being ignored. If we have reached that point in this country, then for God's sake, are we anything less than an authoritarian state? If we cannot follow the Constitution and the rule of law in the courts of Minnesota or Illinois or wherever the case may be, shame on us. If you happen to believe that what is happening in Minnesota is a good thing, perhaps you'll shrug your shoulders. But if you believe that it has been an embarrassment and an insult to the Constitution, this is unacceptable. I yield.